Guys, I am just waiting to get chat to load on the iPad, and as soon as that happens, we're going to be good to go because we've got a lot of stuff happening tonight. And I think we're close to having it loaded. It's just, iPad's so slow for me these days. I probably need to clean some stuff off of it. Okay, so that has us loaded up and ready to go. We've got 3 breaks tonight. The first one is a half case of Preferred football. It's the back half of a case we started the other night. Then we have a full case of Court Kings Basketball. And then we will have a half case of Bowman Draft Baseball. So that's what's on tap. Let's get the spreadsheet up and take a look at the first one. And it is 5 boxes of 2017 Panini Preferred football. I've got a typo there. It's not half. Whatever that is, supposed to say half case. Break number 2, second time we've broken it. Our eBay end date tonight, December the 10th. Our live stream schedule also tonight, Sunday, December the 10th at 10 Eastern. Team names are on the left, winning bidders across from it on the right. Anything you see throughout the evening that says no bids buyback, that is an orphan team, unloved, unwanted, and anything comes out for it, it stays here with me. Otherwise, if it comes out for you, I'm expecting that most of what we're opening tonight will probably go out the door on Wednesday. Actually, I meant to change the focus first. Let me do that because it messes up the lighting. So I'm expecting probably Wednesday is when this will ship. That's always plus or minus a day, so it's possible it could go out a day earlier. It's also possible it could go out a day later. You saw, of course, the background went out of focus there, and that's intentional. That's so we can get a better look at the cards up close without all the zooming in and out. So I make that change manually each time. In each box of Preferred, we're going to have just a single pack of cards. And, of course, inside that pack of cards, we have lots and lots of hits. Preferred's always a nice, fun product to open. Usually get some pretty good stuff out of it. Brett, the Bowman break, for those of you who joined late, the order tonight is Preferred football, followed by Court Kings Basketball, and then Bowman Draft Baseball. So that's the order that we're going in this evening. Most of the time, I do break in the order that things end on eBay, although sometimes I know you may not have looked to see what all I had on a given night. But tonight, that's how we're rolling, with Preferred, followed by Court Kings, followed by Bowman Draft. Brett, I don't know exactly what the time will be. It just depends on how long it takes us to get through this other stuff. I mean, you can see Preferred. Here's a pretty quick break. Court Kings takes a little bit longer, but I really don't know exactly what time it'll be because I just go straight from one into the next one. Gerald Everett, first out. That is numbered to 99. Whoops. Haha Clinton Dix. Die cut to 49 for the Packers. That one's an on-card auto. Marlon Mack, die cut to 49. That one's also an on-card auto. Got a redemption. We're going to set that one aside for a minute. Hi, Kian's dad. St. Louis Rams to 49 with the Kurt Warner materials there for our booklet out of that particular box. Kyle Rudolph to 35. That one is a sticker auto for the Vikings, of course. Priest Holmes for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's one you don't see real often, and especially because it happens to be a 1 of 1. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's written down the side there that it is a nice little 1 of 1 hit for the Chiefs. It is a sticker auto. And guys, if you want anything that you pull, the 1 of 1 or otherwise, if you want it in a one-touch case, just shoot me a message on eBay. I'm always happy to accommodate. It's just at my cost for the case, and the PayPal fees usually ends up being around $3. O.J. Howard for the Bucks. I think that says that is to 99, if I read that right. He kind of wrote over it, but that's what I think. Another redemption. We'll set it aside as well for now. Von Miller to 99 for the Buccaneers. With our booklet out of that one. Donnell Pumphrey for the Eagles. Sticker auto to 199. That was a shame about Carson Wentz today. Thomas Davis, numbered to 15, I believe that says, for the Panthers. Bruce Smith for the Bills, who played in a blizzard. That is also numbered to 15, or the Bills, I mean, played in a blizzard today. Ardarius Stewart for the Jets. Nice little on-card auto and materials hit. That's numbered to 99. And our booklet, David Johnson to 25, Game of Inches. I always enjoy those booklets. They're one of my favorites. So nice little hit there for the Cardinals. D'Angelo Yancey for the Packers to 199, who managed to somehow eke out a win today, even though it looked like the Browns were going to get their first win of the year. It did not work out that way. Chris Carson to 199 for the Seahawks, another redemption. A second David Johnson for the Cardinals. This one an on-card auto, nice little fabric attached there as well, and numbered to 15, so very low number. Looks like we've got a dual booklet, Christian McCaffrey and Andrew Luck. This is numbered to 199. We'll have to take a look at the spreadsheet. If we have the same team owner for both, no worries. Of course, if we have a different team owner, then you know what happens. We'll end up having to go to random for that. Tim Williams for the Ravens, numbered to 199. Yeah, it is a bit of a redemption party. You're not kidding about that. Jamal Adams for the Jets to 99. Those both were sticker autos. Carlos Henderson, also a sticker auto. That one to 49. Christian McCaffrey for the Panthers. That's a nice little hit. On-card auto material numbered to 99. And our final booklet, Melvin Gordon to 99 for the Chargers. Now let's take a look at our redemptions, and then we'll deal with our booklet, our other booklet. Evan Ingram, preferred rookie penmanship purple. Of course, that's going to be the Giants, but we will go to the checklist, and that should also tell us what it's going to be numbered to when we get to that point. Rookie silhouette for Corey Davis. That should be the Titans. And then Cole Beasley silhouettes should be, of course, the Dallas Cowboys. So let's first roll over here. Let me get us on the right page here, and we will take a look at the checklist for all three of those redemptions and figure out what we need to know. I got to get myself on the right page first. Might be helpful. And bear with me, you guys can see, of course, as we follow along, there's a fair amount of little drop downs in the Panini menu, but I am appreciative of the fact that they have all their checklists readily available, so I'm not going to give them too much grief. Sorry, I had to move something. Something's in my way there, and I couldn't use the mouse, couldn't get around it. Where are you, Preferred? All right, so first is our preferred rookie penmanship purple, which of course is our Evan Ingram. Where are you, Purple? Right there. And that should be card number 185, which is going to be numbered to 25. So nice low number there for the Giants. I'm just going to write that on there. Next, we're taking a look at the Corey Davis, which is in rookie silhouettes. So let's get to that. Well, come on, there we go. And that is card number 98, the Corey Davis, and that one is going to be numbered to 99 for the Titans, of course. And then that leaves us with Cole Beasley, who is just straight silhouettes, not rookie silhouettes. So Let's scroll down to that, and he should be card number 33. Where are you, Cole Beasley? And that will be numbered to 49 for the Cowboys. So let's all then roll back over to our other page. And now that I've got all these written on there, well, we can't quite do our review yet because, you know what, we've got a booklet to deal with. And this, of course, is Panthers and Colts. So let's go back to our spreadsheet and take a look and see if we have the same team owner or different team owner. So the Panthers right here and the Colts, we do have two different team owners. So you know what that means. That means we got to buzz into random.org to get that taken care of. I generally will list left to right or top to bottom, just depending on how the card is oriented. That one, of course, is a top to bottom orientation. So Colts are going to go in there first. Panthers are going to be listed second. And it's going to be random. I'm going to do it 3 times. The first 2 do not count. So here's the first one, doesn't count. Second does not count. Third and final does count. And there's our randomized 3 times, our date and time stamp. And that is headed to the Colts. So give me a hot second so I can write that down to have for future reference there. And, oh, I see. All right. So, yes, you are right, Eric. The Panthers did have a pretty good break. Oh, Ken's dad, I'm sorry you struck out today. Your Bears had a good game, though. Trubisky had one of his best games, so you still had an okay day, hopefully. So this booklet went to the Colts via random. Isn't that right? Yes, Colts. I had to look that up again. That's why I write it down. Redemption for the Titans, which will be numbered to 99. Redemption for the Giants to numbered to 25. Redemption Cowboys numbered to 49. That's all written on the sleeve, so you don't have to worry about it being on your redemption card. And then, of course, just a quick little run through for anybody who might have come in late. We're just recapping the preferred break. Once again, if you missed me saying it earlier, my expectation is that this will ship out on Wednesday. That is always plus or minus a day. So it is possible it could go Tuesday. It is possible it could end up going on Thursday, but I'm expecting kind of Wednesday. So, and that's true of everything that we break tonight, all kind of on the same time frame there. This is our nice little 1 of 1 for the Chiefs with the Priest Holmes. So at least we had a good selection of teams in here. Not everything went to 1 team or 2 teams. Got a pretty good little cross section. And if you ended up not pulling a card at all in this break, I still will be sending you something. So not to worry. You'll still get something coming your way, even if you didn't draw anything in the break. And we're getting there. When it's all hits, you know, it takes almost as long to recap it as it does to do it originally. But that's why we like Preferred, because it is all hits. All right, so Preferred is wrapped up and in the books. Let me just make sure those are situated over here. And that's going to bring us into Court Kings Basketball. Let me get the right thing up on the spreadsheet and then bring you over here with me. So this is 16 boxes of another typo. What was I doing tonight? Probably watching the Steelers game out of the corner of my eye. 16 boxes, 2017-18 Panini Court Kings Basketball. This is a full case break. It's break number 2. It also ended tonight on 12/10, our live stream schedule 12/10 as well. And same format as before with your team names on the left, winning bidders across from it on the right-hand side. And, of course, it's a full case, so we don't have to worry about taking anything out and numbering it. And I know it sounds like a lot because it's 16 boxes, but really it's only 1 pack per box and a box topper. So as a whole, it's not too bad to deal with. Looks like a couple, that top box there's got a little bit of a dinged up corner on the box itself. Actually, a couple of them do on that side of the base, but hopefully they're going to be okay once we get in them. Definitely the pack of cards will be, because it's centered in the middle of the box, but the box topper would be the only thing I would be concerned about with that. How well can you see that? How well can you see that corner's like all smashed up right there? And another one has some lesser, to a lesser extent, a little bit of smashed up on another corner too. So oh, Kevin, you are very welcome for the Panthers hits. We will try to find you some nicks in here. And Michael, always good to see you. I know you like Court Kings, so happy to have you back. And once again, like the other night, you got some really good deals on it, because it is not doing well. At least mine aren't. They are not breaking for even what I pay for them for the most part. I don't know why everybody's so uninterested in Court Kings this year, because honestly it usually does pretty well and I like it, and this is a good rookie class. I don't know what the deal is, but maybe it's just too close to the holidays. Everybody's tied up doing other things, might be it. And if you do happen to pull one of the box toppers, if one of them comes to your team, for your team, just make sure before you throw your packaging away that you have located the box topper, because it might be that I've got it in between a couple pieces of cardboard, or, you know, whatever way I can find to get it to you safely. So sometimes people just look for the cards and they kind of forget to look for the box topper. And I don't want you to throw it out or anything, so kind of like to give a little early warning, if you will. Well, we can get it out of here. And of course, this upcoming week we have Totally Certified Basketball coming out, so look for that to be breaking starting, I think, Wednesday. Do I have it starting Wednesday night, or do I have it starting Thursday night? I don't remember. I have it starting maybe Wednesday night, which is release day. So that's one of those instances where you have to hope UPS actually shows up with it. Unlike last week, where they had my package showing out for delivery the entire day, and then they just finished up the route and took it back to UPS. And then brought it the next day. I was like, what happened? Yeah, we don't know. We think it was loaded on the wrong truck or something. Okay, well, that's good. Jason, this is Court Kings, a full case of Court Kings break number 2 that sold on eBay tonight, and of course is breaking tonight. Our Court Kings break number 1, I don't remember what night we broke it, but that it broke the same night that it ended. So whatever night that was, maybe Friday night might have been. Michael, do you remember what night break number 1 was? Because you were in it too. And guys, if you're watching this live and you hear me responding to people in chat, but you don't see the chat, I think you have to be logged into YouTube to be able to see it. So if you don't see it, try logging in to YouTube, and then you should be able to, as far as I understand anyway. I think that's how it works. I didn't have 2 that ended tonight for Court Kings. I only had this one. I mean, this is break number 2 because this is the second case we've broken, but I only had 1 Court Kings break tonight. So you might have been looking at somebody else's break. I don't know. Oh, if you're in break number 2, then yeah, you're good. I'm sorry. I thought you were asking me a minute ago if this was break number 1. So I got confused. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is Court Kings break number 2, full case. On the spreadsheet that I put up a minute ago as well, you should have seen your username across from your team also. So let's take a look at these first. Now, in the first case of this we found all kinds of these, which we're going to start off this way tonight too. These kind of player retrospectives where it is one player in multiple uniforms. And basically, here's what's going to happen with that. It's going, if it's a current player, a player who is still actively playing, we'll take a look at all these better in a minute, guys. I'm just going to get them all out first. It will go to the team that they currently play for. If it is a retired player that doesn't play anymore, then it will go to the team that they played for the longest. Because some of these, you know, have colleges on them, college uniforms and college logos and all kinds of stuff. But really, when it comes right down to it, if it's an active player, I mean, I think you would, if you're buying that team, you're going to expect in a break to get that player's cards. And I would think that that extends to a box topper. So I just think that's the logical and correct conclusion for that. Oh, Jason, you didn't see the spreadsheet? I can put it up for you again in just a second. Let me get all these box toppers out, and we need to look at them first, because once I have something out of a pack, I don't like to change the camera view away from the live view, because for obvious reasons, you know. So let me finish getting the box toppers out, and we'll take a look at what they have on them. And then before we start opening the packs themselves, I can switch back over and show you the spreadsheet again. So just hang tight and we'll take a look at it. Out of our last case, we did have one of our box toppers that was autographed, so maybe we'll get lucky and have the same thing happen again tonight, one would hope. All right. Now that we have all of those out of there, finally, okay. Now I think we're in business. So LeBron James for the Cavs. Tracy McGrady, who of course is retired but spent the most years with the Rockets. So that will go to the Houston Rockets. A little Jeremy Lin for the Nets. Kawhi Leonard for the Spurs. Blake Griffin, Clippers. Dennis Schroeder for the Hawks. Gordon Hayward, Celtics, and there's our autograph. So Celtics with our autograph box topper tonight. That's a nice one with the Gordon Hayward. Ben Wallace, who of course also retired, spent the most years with the Pistons. So the Ben Wallace will go to the Pistons. Kyle Lowry, presently with the Raptors, will go to the Raptors. Giannis, the Greek Freak for the Bucks. Damian Lillard for the Blazers. Eric Bledsoe, even though he's not currently with the Suns, that's what it says on here. When they printed this, he was with the Suns, so that is going to go to the Suns because that's the designation of the current team on the card itself. LeBron James for the Cavs. James Harden for the Rockets. Milwaukee Bucks, again for the Greek Freak. And the Cavs, of course, present team for J.R. Smith. Michael, the reason that the Gordon Hayward said that, and we're going to find this, guys, throughout. This is always the case with basketball. We'll take a look at it again. It didn't say the Jazz for, well, it does, doesn't it? It does say the Jazz down there. You're right. Normally when they're traded, it may show them in the old uniform, but it will show the correct team on the front, or on, you know, the team designation. But you're right. That does say the Utah Jazz on the front, and it does say, of course, the Celtics on the back. So they made a little typo there. Normally, it would have said Celtics in both places and had a little traded date written on it, which we'll find probably on some other cards. But of course, we do know that Gordon Hayward is a current Celtic, and I think with the big logo on the back, I think we can safely assign that one to the Celtics. But you're right, they did make a typo on the front. That is weird. It's not uncommon to see them in the old uniform because they don't have the new pictures yet quite often, but it is uncommon for them to have the wrong team. So I agree with you on that. So here we go with the spreadsheet again. Before we open the pack, someone jumped in late and did not have an opportunity to see the spreadsheet, so requested to have that put back up. So we're taking a quick look at it a second time. And now we'll roll back into getting the cards out of the packs to see what we can find. So this is... you guys know how Court Kings works, I'd say, most of you. We're going to find a bunch of base cards. We'll find some parallels. Of course, we're going to find a materials hit. We're going to find an autograph in each pack. There'll be all kinds of fun stuff in here as we go along. And there are different levels of rookies. I mean, there are technically like level 1 cards, level 2, etc. And it says it on the back, and you can tell by the design. But honestly, to me, it doesn't. Unless it's an autograph or a 1 of 1 or something like that, a different level base card, to me, it doesn't really thrill me personally, but they are there. So just as an FYI. And there is Gordon Hayward as a Celtic. So, you know, clearly he is intended to be in this set as a Celtic, as evidenced by that big logo on the back of the other one as well. But for whatever reason, they definitely did have a typo on the front of the card. So it was a good catch on that too, Michael. I didn't even notice it originally. All of our portraits have been numbered this year. This year. We've only gone through one other case, but all of them have been numbered so far. That's to 175. Doug McDermott to 299 for the Knicks. First out is our sketches and swatches. And just assume that most of those are going to be sticker autos, and most of our fresh paint are going to be on card. If something varies from that, I'll let you know. Frank Kaminsky, numbered to, I think that, did that say 199? 299. To 299. For our materials hit out of the first pack. This is an example of one where he's in a Lakers uniform, but of course it says the Nets down there at the bottom, and there's our little traded to the Nets verbiage up there at the top, and of course it shows the Nets on the back of the card. So that's typically how they're going to look when they're traded, but as we saw, they do occasionally mess up. That's what they did on the other one. Bam Adebayo. Our portrait is Ben Simmons. Once again, numbered to 175. That one for the Sixers. A signature, Luke Kennard to 200 for the Pistons. That one, of course, is an on-card auto. Most of the fresh paint will be on-card. Dwayne Bacon for the Hornets. And I don't guess that one is numbered with our little materials hit. Frank Nicolina rookie went by, an emerging artists insert. Let's go ahead and bring our other two base cards up. Portraits, Jason Tatum to 175 for the Celtics. He's been playing quite well. For the Magic, Jonathan Isaac to, I believe that said 100, which is kind of odd. Usually they're to 99 or something, but that is an even 100 on the Jonathan Isaac. And then the Magic with another hit, numbered to 299, the Elfrid Payton jersey swatch there, 2-color. This time I am going to remember to bring our base up before we keep going here. Nice old Dennis Smith Jr. rookie went by. Renaissance Men, we'll find a handful of those inserts as well. And there is Trevor Booker. That one is numbered to 25 for the Nets. Malik Monk for the Hornets to 100. One of my ex-UK players, so you know I'm fond of that hit. Dario Saric to 299 for the Sixers. Oh, Aaron, usually it's within the next 24 hours I'll upload. However, in the interim, I mean, YouTube always archives a version, and the YouTube archive version is usually available a few hours after the break. What they do, whatever processing is, and that takes them varying degrees of time for I don't know what reason, because I don't know exactly what they do. That's a Damian Lillard insert. So yeah, so the YouTube version, archived version, usually available a couple hours after the break ends. The only difference in what I upload and what YouTube archives is that I'll put in the right title, you know, with the eBay end date and all that stuff. This is to 200 on the Harry Giles for the Kings. So, I mean, obviously, you know, the content and stuff is the same. Just I will fill in the title and the description on the uploaded version. Jonathan Isaac, again, for the Magic, this time with the material. Nice little pinstripe going down the middle there. I am doing good for you tonight. Well, that is, I'm glad to hear that, Michael. George Hill, this is another one you'll see. Of course, he's in his Jazz jersey, but at Kings, and there's the traded designation, and then the Kings there on the back. And pretty much whenever I sort basketball of any type, I always sort it from the back of the card so that I myself do not get caught looking at the uniform and sorting it incorrectly. So I pretty much always sort from the back in basketball. So all I see is the team logo. That's to 175 on the Klay Thompson. For the Spurs, Derek White to 200. Because it's hard when players are traded, especially players that have been with one team for a long time and they're still in that team uniform, and you just glance at it and you kind of want to automatically sort it to the wrong place. That's to 99, Terrence Ferguson for the Thunder. So I learned a long time ago when I'm doing basketball only to sort from the back side. Never ever look at the front of the card. While sorting, it causes me to have problems. Another one of our inserts, Points in the Paint. Our portrait is James Harden for the Rockets to 175. And yeah, Eric, the Hornets have had some quite a few hits so far, as well as the Magic. Anunoby for the Raptors, and that, I guess, is not going to be numbered. Our materials hit James Harden again to 299 for the Rockets. I say James Harden again. It wasn't really again. The first one was just a portrait insert, but just because we've been talking about James Harden a hot second ago. That's all. Little Jason Tatum. Here's a Renaissance insert, Hakeem Olajuwon. Denzel Valentine portrait numbered to 65 for the Bulls. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, Isaiah Thomas numbered to 60. That's our sketches and swatches. And you'll notice even in this case, you know, it's a swatch of his Celtics uniform, even though this is a card for the Cavs. And it should say on the back that he wore it when he was a Celtic. Yeah, it does. When he was worn when he was a member of the Boston Celtics. So find some of those too. TJ Leaf for the Pacers is our material hit. And we got some more to take out of the packs. Oh yeah, the Malik Monk is nice. I wouldn't mind having a little Malik Monk myself. I usually do a little collecting with my UK guys after they go pro. But I haven't gotten any of anybody this year so far. I haven't bid in any breaks. I've been so busy with other stuff. I haven't had time to do that. So probably over the holidays I'll get a chance to buy into a few and hopefully come up with some of them. All right, let's take a look at the back part of what we've got in this case and see what else is waiting for us. Oladipo, of course, for the Pacers now. Portraits in the paint. Aaron Gordon. And a Giannis portrait to 175. Greek Freak is kind of showing up everywhere. Oh, we just made the Celtics really happy. Here comes Jason Tatum for you. Unfortunately, that one is not numbered, but I'm sure you're still glad to have a nice little Jason Tatum on-card auto. Justin Patton for the T-Wolves. Jimmy Butler, T-Wolves. Well, I don't know why they do that. Panini is just the worst about that. Aurora case hit for the Mavericks with Dirk Nowitzki. Another Jason Tatum rookie. Jordan Bell is our portrait, numbered to 175. For the Clippers, Danny Manning to 299 sketches and swatches. Once again, those are all sticker autos for sketches and swatches. To 299, a little Andrew Wiggins T-Wolves. I want a Donovan Mitchell. Another Renaissance Men. Lauri Markkanen for the Bulls to 175. For the Lakers, Lonzo Ball. We just made the Lakers happy. This is numbered to 75. Nice low number and the heir apparent insert on card auto. And the Lakers are officially happy. Brooke Lopez to 299 for the Nets. And once again, just as a reminder, or if you didn't hear me say it earlier, if you do want anything that you pull in a one-touch magnetic case, shoot me a message on eBay. On average, it will run about $3 for me to do that. That covers the cost of the case as well as the PayPal fee to receive the money. And I do send those requests like directly from PayPal as PayPal money requests if you want one. Julius Randle to 65 for the Lakers. Sometimes they're a little more, but only if it's like a weird size for a super, super thick card or a booklet card or something like that. Tony Bradley for the Jazz. T-Wolves, Dirk Nowitzki to 299. Why did I say T-Wolves? Mavericks. Sorry. I had the T-Wolves on the brain. Sorry. Mavericks, Dirk Nowitzki. I caught myself that time. Sometimes I say it and I don't even catch it. One of you guys is like, you said. Yeah, every once in a while I just get crazy. Nice little Kevin Love insert for the Cavs. I forgot what that insert is called, but I do like it in this series. It's a nice, clean-looking card. Devin Booker for the Suns to 65. Celtics are really happy now, because how about a second Jason Tatum for you? This one to 299 sketches and swatches. A sticker auto there and an on-card auto with your fresh paint. You're doing quite well, Celts. To 299 Malik Beasley for the Nuggets. Blank slate. Thank you, Michael. I don't know why. I start to say I always go blank. Yeah, tongue-in-cheek there. I always forget what that insert is called, the blank slate one. Emerging artist Ben Simmons insert. DeMar DeRozan portraits for the Raptors to 175. I see a Seattle Supersonic coming up. That means it's going to go to the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's because that is the current identity of the Seattle Supersonics. They became the Oklahoma City Thunder. Card always stays with its franchise. That is to 399 on the shrimp sketches and swatches. Know why I suddenly could not speak there. Another Lonzo Ball for the Lakers. Materials hit, so the Lakers with a pair of Lonzos and the Celts with a pair of Jason Tatums. Not too shabby. We need to find a little love for the Mavericks and the Jazz as well. Aurora Kevin Durant for the Warriors, and we already had an Aurora case hit, and guess what? Now we have another one. We have two. Portraits Blake Griffin to 175 for the Clippers. Frank Ntilikina to 100 for the Knicks. That one, of course, an on-card auto. A little Bradley Beal to 299 for the Wizards. He's been playing out of his mind lately. Playing quite well. And we're on our last pack, which is representative of our last box. Elgin Baylor on that one, on that insert for Renaissance Men. Jeremy Lin is our portraits to 175 for the Nets. For the Mavericks, Harrison Barnes. I was hoping it would be our rookie. But we got Harrison Barnes to 299 sketches and swatches for the Mavericks. I was trying to conjure a little Dennis Smith Jr., but... And then Goran Dragic to 25. Nice looking two-color patch there. Three-color, actually, because obviously black is color too. I don't know why I said two for the Miami Heat. All right, guys, let me get the base set aside here. If you haven't done a break with me before, when those cards move off to the right, they still stay on a mat because there are mats over to my right as well. That's what I use for sorting, but I don't like things to pile up too much, so I tend to move them off to the side periodically. Now we've got a big stack of hits here to recap that are trying to slide all around everywhere. So I'm just going to quickly, we'll look through these again just in case someone missed part of it or you want to refresh your memory on it. And once again, remember that the anticipated shipping date for this is Wednesday, plus or minus a day. And occasionally I get it out ahead of schedule, but that's kind of the target date anyway. And post office has been dicey lately in terms of the amount of time it's taking. Some things are going like normal. A couple things got delivered faster than I would have thought. And then I had a handful of priority mail things that went much slower than they should have, including one that was supposed to be a 2-day delivery and took like 9 days. But okay, that's just the time of year we're in with the post office, I guess. I do print the labels from eBay, so you should see a tracking number and should get an email from eBay when I do ship them, although every once in a while they won't do one or the other of those things, but most of the time it works the way it should. And most of the time, the post office scans the package when you drop it off. Sometimes they don't, and it may not show up as scanned in until it gets to wherever its next stop is. That happened a couple of times this past week. But generally speaking, I will drop it off the day I print it, unless I'm printing in the evening. Obviously, if you see it printing at night or after hours, you know it's going to go the next day. But if it's printing in the daytime, it's almost certainly going to be dropped off that same day. I know a lot of, not a lot, but, well, a fair amount of people who sell breaks, they print those labels right away, so they get like a eBay discount for fast shipping, but then they don't actually take it to literally be shipped for like a week sometimes. So, yeah, I don't do that. I usually take it when I print it, unless it's in the evening, and then it goes the next day. So, oh, Kevin, I do not have a website or a Facebook page set up for the breaks right now. I intend to do that, and I've been saying that for several months, but I really hope to get that done over the holidays, because the eBay breaks have just been getting worse and worse. They're just harder to deal with. So the majority of my breaks are probably going to move to either a website or a Facebook page or Breakers TV, one or all of the above. So that change will be coming up sometime in the near future. I just don't have it done quite yet. So this brings us to 4 boxes of 2017 Bowman Draft Jumbo Baseball. This is a half case break, as break number 1. And that says 4 times, but you know what? It's supposed to be 3 times, I think, isn't it? Or is it? No. Well, I can't remember. Super Jumbo maybe is 6 and regular Jumbo is 8. Let me check that real quick. I got the case sitting right behind me. Yeah, it is 8. So it's Super Jumbo the 6. So I had it right the first time. So our eBay end date, of course, was tonight, 12/10. Our live stream schedule also tonight. Anything you see that says no bids buyback, that is an orphan team, unloved, unwanted. Anything comes out for that team stays here with me. Otherwise, if it comes out for one of you guys, you know the drill. I'm going to get it out to you towards the middle of the week. And for all my basketball and football folks that are taking off, thanks, guys. And also, of course, to the baseball people, but I always say thanks again at the end, which I figure the baseball guys would hear. But thank you to everybody. I appreciate you breaking with me, bidding with me, keeping me company in chat and all that stuff. So here's what's going to happen. Even though we are doing only half of this case, I'm going to take all of the boxes out. We will number them on the end. And then random.org will pick out which 4 we open tonight versus which 4 we will open in the next break. And that's traditionally how I do these when we're starting a brand new case, because unless, you know, obviously if we're breaking the full case, there's no need to do that. But if we're only breaking part of a case, that's usually what I will do. That just keeps it very transparent, and there's not any question about how everything works and all that. So, oh, thank you, Kevin. I do appreciate you. Yeah, Michael, I know what you mean. I mean, I hate the website for Breakers. I think it's just terrible, really. I don't like anything about their website. I think the quality of it is awful. It's flash-based. I mean, it's full of ads. It's hideous, I think, really. But you have a lot of eyeballs there, for one thing. But the other thing is there's some ability to kind of set a price and put in some price protection. I mean, you would be shocked at how many, not hundreds, I have lost thousands of dollars in the last 4 weeks. I don't know what is going on. It has never been this bad. And at least on a format like that, you have some control over that sort of thing. On eBay, you really don't. 1, 4, 3, and 6 are what we are opening tonight. 1, 3, 4, and 6. So there's good and bad. Really, I would prefer to do the same thing on YouTube instead of having to do it on breakers. In other words, just be able to go up and go live with the list of teams and their price, and then as people buy in, you know, once the break sells, then they break it, because there's tons of people that do that on breakers. That's how most people on there do it, I think. But YouTube is not as easy to do that with, and I don't like to carry breaks over multiple days and stuff like that. You know, we just like to get on and get it sold and get out the door with it. So I don't know. I've got to find a solution, but I don't know what the solution is. I hope that it's not going to be breakers, honestly. I would prefer it to be either by way of my own website or a Facebook private group or a Google Plus group or something. I just haven't quite worked out what that's going to be yet. And I originally had kind of thought I wouldn't make that change for a few more months maybe, but the way this last 4 weeks or so has gone, I think that's going to have to be sooner rather than later. And yeah, I agree with you, Michael. It is better if you can just use YouTube because it's got a better feed quality. It's a mobile-friendly platform. Most smart TVs do have the app where you can just watch it right there on the television. I mean, there's a lot of things that I prefer about YouTube. In fact, I strongly prefer YouTube. What I don't like is losing thousands of dollars in a month. so there's the downside of eBay anyway. Well, one of a few. So as you guys know, with this product, we're going to find lots and lots of base cards, and we're going to kind of just buzz through those. If someone does want the pace to change, if I'm going a little faster than you would prefer, all you need to do is jump into chat and let me know, and I will certainly adjust that pace. And we're going to find, I guess I could put it in, not upside down. We're going to have a few chrome cards in here, of course, in the center of each of our packs. And for the most part, if they are first Bowman, which most of them are going to be, then I'll just slide those in sleeve as we go along. Nice little refractor for the Rays with the Brendan McKay. And then a refractor for Cody Sedlock for the Orioles. Yes, eBay is making a killing on the breaks. I mean, they make, I'll give you an example. On one break, I would have just about broken even until the eBay fees, which cost me on that particular break over $200. Then there are plenty of other breaks where I am already losing money, and then eBay takes their chunk and just takes more of it. I mean, my average bill for eBay is $4,000 a month. And like a month like this, past 30 days, I've lost well over that amount, and then I still have to pay eBay their $4,000. So yeah, it gets ugly sometimes. This is to 150 for the D-backs. So yeah, it's definitely preferable to move away from eBay whenever possible. And then you have the whole other set of problems of people that don't pay for their breaks, and the people who file cases if they don't get hits and get their money back that way, or they wait till you ship it and then file a case. And then sometimes I'll say, okay, well, you know, you can return it because I will think whatever they've said is correct. And then what they'll do is send you back an empty envelope, or they'll send you back an envelope with completely different cards in it, or with nothing at all like cards in it. You know, just stuff anything in it. And it really doesn't matter. I mean, the last guy that did that to me, eBay said to me, because I sent a picture of what he sent back, which was nothing at all that I had sent him. And eBay said, well, you know, that's just the price of doing business. You're going to have some people steal from you. I was like, really? So, okay. I'm sure you don't probably tell the buyers, eBay, oh, that's just the price of doing business. Sometimes, you know, a buyer's going to rip you off if it happens to a seller. No, of course not. They make all their money on us, and they also give us no support. But that's nothing new. Refractor. Another refractor for the A's with AJ. And yes, Brett, you were right. eBay pretty much says it doesn't really matter what the buyer claims or doesn't claim, or what you can prove or not prove or anything else. You're right. They almost always side with the buyer. That's to 250 on the nice little Ronald Acuna there for the Braves. There have been plenty of times when a buyer will say something in messages, like a guy who filed a case to return an item and said the item was not as described before it had even shipped. Like after the break, and he watched the break and he did not get the cards that he wanted. So he waited like 20 minutes after the break and filed a case to return the item and wrote that, you know, he got his item and it wasn't as described. So I'm on the phone with eBay and I'm like, but you do understand he just bought this item. So he can't possibly say that it is not as described when he hasn't even gotten it yet. And we go back and forth and the person's like, oh yeah, you're right. You know, definitely go on and ship it to him because we'll be able to see that. We'll be able to tell that that shouldn't have happened that way, etc., etc. And then don't you know that they still closed the case in his favor after he got the item. And I was like, in that case, now I'm out the item and the money. You told me it wasn't going to close that way, eBay. Yeah, well, we guess our automated thing did it. Oh, okay. So, oh, I was livid. I was just livid. But that's, you know. Brett, I have won a case as a seller. It takes a lot. It does. But I have, in the past, won some as a seller. In fact, I won some as a seller just recently. A guy filed, and I'm shocked that they did find in my favor, but they did. A guy that had filed a lot of cases. That's to $4.99. Because I was opening, like it was a single box break of, maybe it was black gold football or something. The Clement here is a refractor for the Indians. So it was a lot of teams for, you know, $2.99 free shipping, that kind of stuff. And that attracts a certain kind of person sometimes who doesn't know what they're doing and they don't read about what they're doing either. So refractor for the Brewers, which is, I think, what happened with that guy. Nice little Acuna. So he buys 6 or 8 teams. He's got, you know, maybe 18, 20 bucks in it. He doesn't pull anything. He waits like a month or more and then files a case. And then I'm going back and forth with him in messages. And basically he says the only thing that's acceptable to him is a full refund, yada, yada, yada. And anyway, he, of course, filed cases for all 6 or 8 or however many it was of his things. And I did not expect that I would win the case because you so seldom do as a seller. But somehow or another that day, I did actually manage to win that one. Because they closed it and said that, you know, buyer's remorse was not an acceptable reason for return or something like that. But you could just as easily have that same thing happen probably like the next day. And they would find it the exact opposite way because there's no rhyme or reason to it at all. And people can say nothing too. Like they can just file a case and provide no description, no comments, no anything, and literally not say one word, and they will find in their favor. Like one guy, he's the guy that opened a case for a bunch of stuff. Then I ultimately just ended up telling him, okay, you know, return it. Just return it. Because it was some nice hits. And so I thought, you know, just forget it. Send it back. I'll give you your money back. It's not worth going through all this. And and all the hassle and the negatives and whatever. He's one of the guys who then kept all of the hits. And so he got his money back and all of my cards. So that was a fun one. But that's the kind of stuff you kind of run into sometimes with eBay, because people know they can abuse that system. And you don't run into that as much with some of the others. I think I actually have just been putting all of these chrome cards in a sleeve, and I really kind of only meant to put the first Bowmans in a sleeve. So going onward, we're just going to put the first Bowmans in there out of the chrome. Unless, of course, it's numbered or refractor or whatever. Yeah, I was not at all surprised to see that eBay came out and said that box breaks were okay to do, because of course they did. They're making an absolute fortune on them. I mean, their fees are so high. They are making so much money that they happily made them okay to list after all that time of saying you couldn't list them. Then all of a sudden, oh yeah, we changed our mind. You can. We're just kidding. We didn't know we could make that much money. But I know I'm just in a bad mood about eBay tonight. I'm just, it was one of those days where I had a bunch of unpaid item cases closed as permanently unpaid and a whole bunch of stuff like that. So I'm just in a foul mood about eBay today, I think. So you have to overlook me in that sense. Ortiz numbered to $4.99. Yeah, I don't know why I was doing the other, the first Bowman refractors and stuff, for sure. I often in these mixed products just put all the chrome in sleeves, but it really is going to take us forever if we do that, because these are the jumbos. So I'll do the refractors that are first Bowmans, or all the refractors, I guess, and the others we're not going to worry as much about. And that really just evolved over time as well, because there were people that would get, even though truly you could almost just take, you couldn't really take a card key, but you could practically take a card key down the front of chrome without doing any damage to the card itself. However, there are certain groups of people who feel like if a chrome card even touches another chrome card, that it is a sin, even though they touch each other inside the packs, of course. So over time, I just got into the habit of sticking the chrome cards in a sleeve as we went. But it really would take forever tonight. Jacob Pearson, our first hit, this one for the Angels. Oh. That and the fact that kind of I get on autopilot too. That happens some as well. I just get in the habit of doing it. So then when I see them, it's just almost automatic, like muscle memory. If anybody happens to be watching the game and you might know the score of my Steelers game, I would not be at all sad to have you share that. For the Rangers, nice little refractor. Yeah, I hope we can find you some Mackenzie Gore. That would definitely be a nice one to hit. Franklin Perez to 150. 31-20 Ravens. Oh my gosh. My Steelers have fallen apart. It was not that way at halftime. Mateo refractor for the A's. Eloy. I still can't get used to the fact that he was traded. Still used to him being a Cub. That is just dreadful. I don't know what happened, man. My guys just fell apart. I guess it's a good thing I'm not watching it, because then I'd just be in an even worse mood. Bad enough for the Steelers to lose, but to the Ravens? Oh, that is dreadful. Dreadful, dreadful. Just because it's a rivalry, not because I think the team is bad. They've actually been pretty good, especially the back half of the season. Their defense has been excellent. But yeah, that's a tough one. I don't enjoy that. Stuart Fairchild for the Reds, refractor. And a nice little Will Craig for the Pirates to 250. Another refractor for the Rangers, Tejeda. And recommended viewing insert. Oops, well, there is that base card that I let slide off the bottom there by accident. Oh, and a little Gleyber Torres, chrome. And we're refractor for the Astros. And for the Padres. Recommended viewing. There's your, well, Mackenzie Gore's on here, but of course, you want an autograph. The Rockies with a nice little first Bowman refractor, Vilade to 499. I would say so that the crowd in Pittsburgh is getting ticked. I almost said what you typed. And I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't say that because it's, you never know, kids might be watching. So, yes, I would say that the crowd in Pittsburgh is ticked off and restless. I would be too. That's crazy. I mean, are we just not playing any defense, or is Ben throwing interceptions, or what is going on there? What are they doing to me? Of course, I'm sure there's a little mental issue too with Ryan having been hurt, of course, the other day, and everybody's still got that on their mind. And Juju's out tonight, and I was worried about that, honestly. UPS driver, my UPS driver, is also a big Steelers fan, so we talk Steelers every day when he brings my stuff, and we were talking about, he's like, oh, we'll be okay without Juju. I'm like, I don't know, man. I think we kind of need him right now. KJ Harrison Brewers, refractor. Peyton Remy, Cubs, refractor. Signature for the Mets, Mark Vientos, first Bowman. That sleeve is kind of bent up. Oh, the crowd wants a flag on every play. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I mean, it's always a very physical game against the Ravens, but most of the time, they just kind of let them play, Steelers and Ravens. So I would hope that that would be the case again tonight. That was a refractor, sorry. I slid right by that a little too fast. The Tommy Doyle and then the Wyatt Mills as well, both refractors. And Christopher here is going to be numbered. We'll take a look at that number in a second. For the Rangers, he is 2/399. Yeah, I don't know what the Steelers are messing around this year, because we should be, well, we have been okay this year, but we've also had too many close games that we really had no business being as close as they were. think Ben has been a little inconsistent this year. And then, of course, we got the Patriots next week. So, man. For the Red Sox, refractor. If I can get the sleeve open, maybe we'll get the card in it. It'd be helpful to actually get it open first. Will Smith for the Dodgers. Melendez for the Royals to $3.99. All right. We already looked at, we already looked at those. That was the base off of that last pack. So, of course, we've got the back half of this case is already listed, and I think I already have the front half of Super Jumbo listed, too. Which is even more cards than we have, of course, in here. And, man, they put a lot of cards in this product. It takes a long time to sort. And if you have multiple teams, you usually have several pounds of cards. There's a lot in here. A lot. Medina for the Phillies, numbered to 250. I've got to get my new pack of sleeves open here. Gavin Lux, Dodgers, refractor. And then recommended viewing. Yeah, I like the way they do the jumbos for Bowman Chrome, where it's just the hits. There's no base in it. And that's always my favorite. Of course, I like Bowman in general because I enjoy the prospecting part of it. So, just in general, I'm a Bowman kind of gal. Peter Solomon for the Astros, refractor. And Buddy Reed for the Padres. Nice little insert there, Ricky Henderson from the draft history. Just trying to get all the paper pulled up to the front so we can go through all of it. And then the chrome. Isn't it this upcoming week, the week that all the teams meet, and we should start seeing some of our interesting trades and things come through? Isn't that this upcoming week? Or is it next, or is it the week after? I think it's this upcoming week. For the Angels. Red Sox to $3.99. Kind of looking forward to see what's going to happen with some of those teams, especially, well, there's really a few teams that should be in the market to buy, and there's a few teams that should be in the market to sell as well. I think the Pirates are getting ready to ship off Andrew McCutchen, which kind of makes me sad because I do like Andrew McCutchen. The official dismantling of your Royals will begin. They are probably going to decimate the Royals, I have to say. Of course, we already know they're going to decimate the Marlins, and we know the Yankees are happy already, and we know the Angels are happy already, no matter what else happens. Caden Lemons for the Brewers. Yankees, speaking of, Nick Solick. Draft history, Roy Halladay. Yeah, I guess it'll be interesting to see what ultimately happens with all of it. Oh, wow. Eric, I didn't know. I had heard rumors that Hamilton might be put up by the Reds, but he is definitely up for sure. Duvall, I'm not surprised about. I wish they were not taking offers on Iglesias, and I like Billy Hamilton. That really does bum me out. I don't even know what the Reds are doing these days, honestly. What are we even doing? Most of the time, I don't know. I think most of the time they don't know, to be honest with you. That is to 99 for the Royals. Kyle Lewis, refractor, Mariners. Mickey Moniak for the Phillies. Oh, Cozart is going to the Padres? Is that for real, for sure? Oh, man. Oh, well. It is a hard life being a Reds fan. I mean, back in the day, okay, but for the most part, it's a hard life being a Reds fan. Not as hard as it is, though, being a Cleveland Browns fan. I will give you that. Nice little Torres refractor for the Yankees. I mean, I did think it looked like that the Browns might actually pull one out of their hat today. And then they still didn't. To $3.99. And they've already said they're going to leave that coach in place. They've already said Hugh's going to stay through next season. The guy has won one game in 2 years. I mean, how can he just stay there? I don't know. But yeah, well, I'll be sad to see Cozart go, but I'm not super surprised that he's going to be gone. I'm not shocked by that, but it does make me a little sad. Signature hit for the Brewers with Brendan Murphy. But, oh well, what are you going to do? But I do think the Yankees are going to have... It's going to be interesting because really, I mean, has Giancarlo ever played anywhere but right field? That's to $4.99 for the Dodgers. Because Aaron has never played anywhere but right field. So then what are you going to do? Somebody's got to switch. Somebody's going to have to slide. So is it going to be Aaron or is it going to be Giancarlo? I mean, that's a good problem to have, I guess, if you're the Yankees. But still, I do wonder what they're going to do there. And, of course, the Angels, you figure they'll just use Ohtani as a DH, right? I mean, like he'll pitch and be DH, and that'll be it. But I really can't wait to see what he brings to the table. And you never know how the game's going to translate, but by all accounts, he's pretty solid. Yeah, Jeter is kind of reloading the Yankees as by dismantling the Marlins. You're right about that. It's kind of an interesting little twist on things, I guess. All things considered. And you know, the Yankees have been saying, oh yeah, we're going to be under the luxury tax. We're not going to have these big paydays and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right. Psych. My guess is they'll move Stanton. And they'll leave Aaron and Wright. That's the 200 on the DL Hall. There's Brendan McKay. Of course, you never know. And we don't know yet how Aaron's shoulder is going to come out either. I mean, the assumption is it'll be fine because it was supposedly just like a little cleanup surgery and nothing too major. So you would assume he'll be okay, but you never know till they get back out there. And Drew Ellis for the Diamondbacks. Refractor first Bowman to $4.99. Little Bo Bichette. Just base Bo Bichette, but I don't know. I just saw him go by, so. For the Mets, refractor, and for the White Sox. Signature hit coming out for the White Sox. Let me just rearrange one thing over here. That stack where they're in sleeves is just a little too tall for my taste. They like to slide, you know, once they get in sleeves, so I will keep an eye on that. Luis Gonzalez for the White Sox. Yeah, Gerald, I would say that you're right. It probably is frustrating to be a Marlins fan or a Rays fan. But, you know, the Rays have a nice farm system in place. I haven't really paid much attention to the Marlins farm system. I don't really know who they have in the pipeline. I know they have some people in there. Obviously they have people in there, but they have I don't know who they have that's really, really good. For the Marlins. Who do they have that's good? I'm sure I'm just not thinking of somebody right now, but off the top of my head, you don't really look at them and think, oh yeah, they're loaded. Oh, Kevin Maytan to $250 for the Braves. For now, not for long. Since MLB took away all of Atlanta's prospects. Not all of them, but it sure seems like all of them, doesn't it? Seems like a lot of them. Well, I'm hoping that at least the Marlins are going to get cleaned up with Derek Jeter and his group. You know, I mean, you figure I like that Jeter's involved with them. I think that there's a reasonably good chance that he can get them sorted out. I also think it's going to take several years. I don't think they're going to be sorted out right away by any stretch of the imagination. But somewhere along the way, I think Jeter will get them back on the right track. So, and I don't think it could be worse than the guy who did own them, right? Because, I mean, yeah. And then, of course, the Rays, they do have some decent people in the system. And now, as you say, Gerald, to your point, when they get good, it seems like they trade them off or they have to trade them off. And I'm hoping at some point they'll stop doing that. Not that I'm necessarily a Rays fan, because I'm not, but I just like it's just more fun if all the teams are competitive. It's not as much fun when you have some teams that are great and some teams that are perpetually terrible. Or I shouldn't say terrible, but perpetually not as entertaining. How about that? We'll say it like that. Ah, Toussaint. Royce Lewis. For the Royals, Melendez. Numbered to 150. Another Torres base. Kyle Wright. A little Ronald Acuna for the Braves. And I've got to get my sleeves back out of there. Jake Berger. Rangers to 299. Is that the second or third color we found of Christopher? Seems like it is. Might not be. Might just be in my head, but it feels like we have seen him go by a couple of times in color. Ooh, Brendan Rodgers. There's a nice little refractor for the Rockies. And Seth Curry for the Giants. And how about the Orioles with Sedlock to 25? And our orange parallel. Oh, my eye is itching. I don't know what could possibly be in the air this time of year when it is this cold, but something has been absolutely tearing my allergies up. And it's been in my eyes. My eyes just burn and itch. And I wonder if it's that silly little kitten that I found and brought in the house to keep him from dying outside. He might be making my eyes itch. He's surprisingly quiet tonight, which means he's probably like shredding something somewhere. That is to $3.99 for the Red Sox. He is the most active little kitten I have ever seen in my life. And I'm trying to find him a home, and I'm not having very much luck. And I'm afraid even if I do, somebody will bring him back, get him home, and he'll destroy their house, and they'll bring him back. Because he is flat out crazy. But that's what happens, you know, when you live backed up to a park. People just bring and dump animals, and somehow they always wind up coming to my back door. Blake Hunt to 25 for the Padres. That's paper, of course, not chrome. I think you could probably tell that, but just because we were in the middle of the chrome, I thought should point that out. course, I guess I should just be grateful I'm not in California. My goodness, the whole state seems to be on fire. I was reading something earlier today about how all the shelters are full and so many animals separated from their owners and to $4.99 and or left when the people had to abandon in a hurry, you know, had to evacuate, I mean, in a hurry. Nice little Tristan McKenzie for the Indians. Austin Beck. I mean, Northern Cali seems like it was just not that long ago, what, a few weeks ago, when Northern California was on fire. Now Southern's on fire. Casey Clemens for the Jays. Connor Wong for the Dodgers. And we have Lincoln Hensman for the White Sox. Well, now get some of these cleared out of the way. Oh my goodness, 38-29 Ravens with 6:44 left in the fourth. Oh my gosh, that is dreadful. Dreadful, dreadful, dreadful. Well, maybe we'll get the losing out of our system tonight, and perhaps we can do something against the Patriots then next week. Maybe it'll be a trade-off. Wishful thinking out loud. I don't know. But that is just a meltdown. That's just terrible. Ugh. And my friends that are Ravens fans, oh boy, I'll be hearing about this for a month. Which I can't really say much about, because I tell you what, I would hassle them for a while too if we thumped them good. So I guess I can't say, I guess I can't complain about getting hassled when we lose. If I'm gonna dish it out when we win, I gotta take it when we lose. But man, it's unfortunate. Adam Hall, Orioles. Colby Allard. Another Torres. Insert. Yeah, I don't know. With 6:44 left and down a couple of scores, and obviously we have played, I'm clearly not watching the game because I'm doing this, but we had to have played a terrible second half to suddenly be down like we are, because it wasn't that way at halftime. So I think it might be a bit of, I'm not going to say it's complete impossibility, because I have seen Ben do things like that before, but I would say it doesn't sound like a great possibility that we're going to somehow manage to pull out and win this game. But maybe. Never know, I guess. Nice little refractor for the Cardinals. And for the Orioles, we have a signature hit. First Bowman, Zach Lothar. But to be at home and have that happen too, man, oh man. Oh, Steelers can't stop the run. So they're doing, the Ravens are doing all that on the ground? Good grief. Oh. That is just terrible. Terrible, terrible. I don't know why I put the inserts in a sleeve. I just do. I know they technically don't have to be if they're not numbered or refracting, but I already started putting them in there, so I figure may as well finish up with it. Last box of this half case. I always forget how long these take to open. These should usually probably be like the only break of the night, or maybe one of two. Because it does take a while to get through all of these cards. Nice little Andy Pettit draft history. Whoops. Toussaint was trying to slide out of my hand there for a second. Ben has 435 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, well, he needed about twice that apparently. Gracious. Danner for the Blue Jays. I see Mitch Keller coming up for the Pirates. And then for the Cardinals, to $3.99, the Robertson. Recommended viewing. Oh, we just scored with Le'Veon. Okay, cool. You know, really, most of our offense, it seems like, is either Le'Veon Bell or Antonio Brown, or lately, Juju's been getting in there too. But you would think, given that opposing teams know where we're going to go, that they would do a little bit better job, but Bell is just almost unstoppable. He's really exceptional. And so is Antonio Brown. $3.29 left. Well, we need some kind of a turnover then. We need to intercept or something and then drive back down the field and pray. Well, at least I didn't go to the game. This is to 150 on the Stuart Fairchild for the Reds. I did have an offer to go to the game, but it came in kind of last minute, you know, just 4 or 5 days ago, something like that. And I knew I already had breaks to deal with and everything, so I couldn't go. Because obviously I had to fly up and fly back and all that. So it's probably a good thing that I didn't go, because A, it is cold, and B, I'd be seriously ticked if I'd gone all the way up there and then we lost. Like, seriously ticked. And sitting out in the cold and the dark and losing would not have been a good thing. So it's probably just as well. That's probably just as well that I'm doing the break, because I'd otherwise just have been screaming at the television for an entire half. That is to 250 for the Nats. So I'm definitely a television screamer. That's just the way I was raised, though, right? I mean, my dad's like that. My dad would get down on the floor watching games, be down on his knees, beating on the floor. And it was just crazy. So our whole family, we're kind of passionate about sports. But that's just how we rolled when I was growing up. Oh, the game in Buffalo was insane. Royce Lewis. For the Jays, Perdomo. Yeah, it was. You know what? How did they even see the field to know to be able to play the game? I don't even know. That's to $3.99. Caden Lemons. Because it didn't just snow, like it snowed hard. Like whiteout kind of snow. That was crazy. I would not have wanted to be out on the field for that game. And it seems so early in the year, too, for so much snow. Maybe it means we're going to have a crappy winter. I don't know. This is to $4.99 paper. Blake Rutherford for the Sox. Oh, Brendan McKay. Speaking of the Rays, which we were earlier, but oh, I just saw a score update, 38-36 with 2:38 to go. It just popped up on an ESPN alert on my iPad, so I see that we're in it with a chance anyway still, but I don't know who has the ball. I'm assuming not us. I'm assuming that the Ravens have it. Smith for the D-backs. Scott Hurst, Cardinals to $99. That one's paper. Nats again. And the Ravens have to punt. So we're getting ready to get the ball back with 2-something to go and down by 2. Am I understanding that correctly, Michael? Is that right? That would make me happy. UCLA canceled an indoor basketball game due to the air quality. I'll tell you what, though, Gerald. I lived out there for a while, so I still have friends who live there. And I spoke to one of my good friends yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Anyway, she said you just almost can't go outside because there are so many areas on fire and the smoke is so bad. And apparently all of the masks and everything are sold out. You can't get them anywhere. And people are pretty much staying indoors in a lot of areas right now because of course it's smoggy and whatnot under the best of circumstances, and then with so many fires, I think it is pretty bad out there. So that's probably why they canceled it. A lot of people are not even venturing out. Casey Clemens to $2.50 for the Jays. Okay, so you're in Bakersfield, so you know what's going on then out there with all that. So yeah, my friend was just out trying to walk her dog, and she said it was just awful. But you know all about that then. It's just something else. For the Giants, Jacob Hayward. For the Yankees, a little Clark Schmidt to $4.99. Yeah, you know, I don't think I was ever in Bakersfield that I remember ever being in Bakersfield. I lived in the Hollywood Hills, and in the West Hollywood area in the Hollywood Hills. My friends now pretty much live, well, I have a couple friends still in West Hollywood, but most of my friends live up in Sherman Oaks. Because you know that's how it goes when you get married and have kids and all that kind of stuff. You want to get up there and have a yard and not be down in the areas that are just wall to wall. Mitch Keller to 250 paper for the Pirates. Ventura is, well, my friend, she lives in, the one that I was speaking to, she lives in Sherman Oaks, and she was talking about Ventura and just said it was unbelievable. And of course, they were just praying that it didn't get into the valley, because if it had started, well, you can imagine. If it had started through the valley, it would have, God only knows what all it would have wiped out. Because, you know, I mean, Laurel Canyon is always like a tinderbox. Every time you drive through Laurel Canyon, you just think, wow, you know, one spark off of one thing and you're going to burn up that whole corridor. Diaz for the Dodgers. But somehow, I don't know, I don't think I was ever in Bakersfield, like the whole time. I don't ever remember being in Bakersfield. Brian Miller for the Marlins. All right, if you happen to miss me saying it earlier, my expectation is that this stuff is going to ship on or about Wednesday. That's give or take a day. So in other words, it could, some get out a little earlier, some could go out on Thursday, but I think most will probably go out on Wednesday. So we're just going to recap real quickly here with our signature hits. We're not going to go back through the color and the other stuff. I don't typically do that unless someone requests it. So if someone wants to, of course, yes, I will sort it out and get it for you. But normally just recapping the signatures. And, well, typically I would have put the 225s aside, but I did originally, and then I forgot and stacked something else on top of them, so now they're in a big stack. And somebody tells me that the Steelers hit a long pass. We're at the 20, and we're within field goal range. And Gerald says most of, the wind blew most of the smoke over the ocean. Well, that is good then. So, guys, that is it for me tonight. As always, I thank you so much for bidding with me, breaking with me, keeping my scores updated, and giving me a little bit of hope in the Steelers-Ravens game. And I'm actually going to jump off here and see if maybe I can't catch this last 60 seconds or so of that game. And I will see you guys again the next time. And in the meantime, have a great start to your week tomorrow. And I'll see you again soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.